Bow, 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 bow. What's going on? I'm way off the side of the screen. Hey guys, how's it going? John here. This is episode 86 of Jon Does. I don't know if you noticed, but Pat is here and he's wearing, is that salmon colored?
Yeah.
It's a
I would say salmon.
Salmon colored jacket.
I love this jacket.
Yeah.
It's been raining here a little bit.
Did you?
You know, first rain feels like in forever.
Have you you've fully confessed your love to that jacket though?
I might do it right now. We'll wait till nobody's watching.
No, let's do it while everyone's watching.
The world is watching.
Yeah, it's like when they do like they do. It's like when somebody proposes to their like fiance at like a sports game. Everybody wants to see it.
True. Yeah. I always feel like, that really puts pressure on the other party to say yes.
They're like, I got married because I got proposed to in a public setting. That would be kind of weird. Anyways, welcome. It's episode 86.
Damn, 86.
86. I know. I'm starting to think a little bit about what to do for the 100th episode because that's going to be here like sooner rather than later.
A couple months.
Yeah. Any suggestions? Think about that for a second. I want to do my Wild Dinosaur plug. Don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to buy or to support this channel. Buy Pat. You can take Pat on a date. All you have to do is buy 1,000 shirts from wilddinosaur.com and Pat will go on a date with you.
Yes, I will. If you buy 1,000 shirts, I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the 1,000 shirts.
I mean, I'll go with it. You don't have to buy 1,000 shirts. Just ask.
So yeah, it's the best place to support the channel, and like to sell some art. See people wearing my art,
So I got to sell that merch.
You got something on your hand?
I got, yeah. It's just the standard warts.
Gotcha. So if you want to go on a date with Warty Pat.
No, I'm just kidding. My hands are wart free.
Actually, I don't think mine are. I've had this one thing on my finger. I shouldn't say anything because I always told my mom.
I have a couple just little bumps and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. I was about to give
age bumps.
I was about to give away something. I always told my mom that if she wasn't sure if it was me or a clone, then there's this thing on my finger to check.
And it's gone.
So she would know.
And it's gone.
It's gone. It doesn't. Oh shit! Am I a clone? Anyways, you haven't been here since the top 10 lists.
Yeah, because I was sick. I've been under the weather, but finally, making a turnaround. It's still a little stuffed up, but I'm feeling okay now.
So have you watched 10 more movies since?
Have I watched any more movies? That's a good question. We should talk about that. I did start that show on Netflix, The Neighbors, I believe is what it's called.
The Neighbors.
Or Neighbors or some shit like that.
Is it the
it's
sitcom?
Bobby Cannavale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
okay,
where
yeah.
he and his family move into this neighborhood, and it's kind of like a mysterious house, and I think like Mia Farrow is in it, and she plays this like creepy, I don't know, just like kind of standard, one of my standard customers. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty weird.
I thought you were talking about there's a show from I don't know
when an Australian show called The Neighbors, I believe.
Yeah, there's that, but then there's also another show. It was a sitcom that was on ABC or NBC, I think, in like 2010-ish, 11 maybe, something like that, called the Neighbors, and it was about this family that moves into this like housing tract, and all of the neighbors are aliens.
Oh, I think you told me about this one.
Yes,
yeah.
The show was ridiculous, and I did Better Off Ted recently. I should revisit the Neighbors and talk about that because there's some really funny like bits in there, like the aliens take their names from public figures, so there's like a Dick Butkus is like the youngest son.
My apologies. The show on Netflix that I was talking about is called The Watcher.
Oh, okay. I've heard of The Watcher. I have not seen any of it though. It's good
so far. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, nice.
What's her name? Is it Margot Martindale or something like that?
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah. Her and Richard Karn from Spin City.
Okay.
Yeah, they play like some like asshole neighbors to this family. And yeah, it's weird. It's kind of creepy.
Well, speaking of creepy, I have some news. We don't have to spend too much time on this, but there was an announcement today when I woke up. Wednesday was renewed for season 2 on Netflix.
Yeah. Apparently, one of your favorite shows from 2022.
Yes, I really liked.
That was in your top show list.
And I know a lot of other people are really digging the show.
I haven't seen it myself yet, but
you haven't watched Wednesday?
No, but
I thought you watched Wednesday.
Check it out.
Yeah, you should definitely watch it out. Watch it. It's one of those. It's one of those shows you could probably watch with your roommates for sure. Like I'm sure everybody would be into it. I mean, maybe not Andrew, but I'm just kidding.
He's a hater for sure.
He is a hater. Yeah, what was it? Oh yeah, he didn't like everything everywhere else.
No, he did like it.
He said it jumped the shark, and I was like, literally the point of this movie is to be weird. Like it's a multiversal
he
thing.
He did enjoy. I can promise you, he was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was there with him when we were watching it, and he was definitely.
He's just an asshole. Hey Andrew, I'm sure you're watching. I'm just kidding. You're not an asshole.
No, he is.
He is an asshole, and you can tell because all the potatoes he eats out of cans.
And potatoes and corn.
Potatoes and corn. You'll get into that microphone. Yeah, it's our new metal band. So yeah, you haven't watched Wednesday. That's disappointing. No, it's actually pretty cool because you should watch it, and when you do watch it, we'll
talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. But also, it's like I've already seen it, so I'm a little jealous. You know, I can't rewatch it again.
Watching something for the first time is always the best. Everything always seems longer.
Yeah,
feels longer. And also, of course, you don't know what's going to happen.
It's definitely the best thing Tim Burton has done in a long time. I did enjoy Big Eyes. Was another one of my
that was some time ago though.
That was like it was, but it's like Tim Burton's best stuff is like 90s. You know what I mean?
Batman 89.
Yeah, Batman 89. Oh, well, like some of his stuff came out in the 80s, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah,
that's
is
his
that
first
1988, 80, or is that
I don't know. Let me look that up real quick. Keep talking.
No, but Pee-wee's Big Adventure was that I think a lot of us watched that movie as children, and that was
85.
That movie felt so long.
Yeah, 85.
Because there's so much going on in there, like so many different characters that pop up.
Yeah, it's I love Pee-wee.
Also, Edward Scissorhands. That was another one that I remember watching as a kid. And there were some scary parts in there for a kid.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. That movie's actually pretty depressing. I haven't totally rewatched it in a while. I've always loved the movie, but I have a hard time wanting to revisit it because it's like very tragic and sad. You know,
it is. It's like the Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah,
story.
For such a beautiful movie, it's a hard one for me to rewatch.
Great movie though.
Totally. What else was there? The other one that Mars Attacks is my favorite Tim Burton movie for sure.
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice is great. I do love Beetlejuice.
Well, Beetlejuice wasn't directed by Tim Burton, was it?
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay.
Yeah. That was like a full-on Tim Burton like production.
Yeah.
Everything about that movie is Tim Burton.
It is.
Even the family, Lydia's family that moves into the house, like, you know, it's this like rustic looking house, and then they like modern art it, and it's totally just like Tim Burton like like sculptures that
probably his own art.
Yeah, definitely. He's like, you know what? I've got a whole museum of stuff that I've made since I was like 5 years old. Let's just throw that in the movie. Let's go.
Why was I thinking that he didn't direct it? That's strange.
It happens, you know. The one that he often gets misrepresented with is Nightmare Before Christmas, because he didn't direct. He produced it, but Henry Selick did the directing on that. He's another one. Henry Selick is probably one of my favorite directors, and it's kind of sad that I feel like he doesn't get the recognition I think he deserves. Monkey Bone is such a great movie.
Some people, I was reading a list of I think this list was ranking the Brendan Fraser's every Brendan Fraser film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you might be able to pull that up. That list.
We should do that on another episode. That might be kind of long because he's got a lot of stuff.
He does. He has a pretty big body of work from like the 80s.
Yeah, his first movie was
School Ties?
School Ties with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And
That was like late 80s.
Yeah, and then he did Encino Man after that, and then
Encino Man was huge.
dude, that's a great movie too. And then there was this whole.
It's not the best movie, but
No.
but it's definitely nostalgic.
Yeah, for sure.
And he did a great job in that role.
I remember watching that movie, I think, for the first time at like a friend's sleepover.
Yeah, I watched it
like
for the
that.
first time at a friend's house.
Yeah, and then there's so much other stuff that Brendan Fraser's done. But let's get back to Tim Burton.
Oh yeah,
because Wednesday is really great. He only directs 4 episodes, the first 4 episodes I think it is of the show, and then then other directors take over. I'm curious if he'll direct much of season 2, or if he'll just show run, or what the plan is.
I'm sure it'll be at least some.
I hope so. I'd like to see him stay in this Wednesday world. You know, the other thing you were saying about Tim Burton's one of these people where you're like, did he direct that? Like, he's got a style, but like
true.
I did that with the Addams Family movies. For some reason, when I was first talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, Tim Burton. No, he didn't direct those.
Who did direct those?
I don't remember. Some random
Yeah.
person, I think. But
They have that feel though that they could have been directed by Tim Burton.
I think he was originally going to do it, and then this other director came in last minute or something like that. There was something with that. But the other thing that dropped today, and Pat just watched this for the first time, was the trailer for Renfield.
Yes, Renfield.
Renfield is a movie coming out soon, starring Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage. And let's be real, Brendan Scott Jones is going to be the standout star of this movie.
Maybe William Ragsdale as older priest.
Yes. So Awkwafina and Ben Schwartz are also in this movie. I literally don't really know any other people. Brendan Scott Jones I only know from Ghosts. I think he's been in some other comedic stuff that I might recognize him in, but
some of these people look familiar.
Yeah, like Adrian Martinez
or Derek Russo. That guy looks familiar.
He directed Avengers. He's the third Russo brother.
Yeah.
He was in Loki. Yeah, he was the big dude because they had the hunters, whatever they were called, time variant cops. Yeah, he was the big dude. He was in Jumanji, Cobra Kai, the Mule. He's the big dude.
Big dude.
He's the big dude in the Mule. But Renfield is it's a vampire flick coming out where it focuses on Nicholas Holt's character, who is his like familiar henchman-ish character that like collects victims, I guess, and does some of his other work. And yeah, I don't really know it. Like the trailer starts off where he's in like a group therapy session where they're talking about like being in like toxic relationships.
Yeah, I can understand how that would happen. It's like Guillermo in
What We Do in the Shadows.
We Do in the Shadows.
And yeah, so yeah, he's like has a seems like some sort of rough relationship with
Dracula.
His master, who is Dracula. But this movie looks really fun. Awkwafina's in it.
Not Nicolas Cage's first foray into vampire flicks.
Definitely not. This is like his 100th foray into vampires. What is it? Once Bit? No.
Is it just called Vampire's Kiss?
Yeah, Vampire's Once Bitten is the Jim Carrey vampire movie from the 80s.
Great as well.
That movie is great. Yes, this looks great. I mean, I'm really into this like later stage Nicolas Cage era that we're in. I really love the was it like Wally's Wonderland or whatever? That movie
you've spoken about that one before.
So good. I thought it was going to be like a straight up like horror movie, and it kind of is, but it's like so schlocky and just fun. Like his character has zero development in the entire movie. He's just there, he kicks ass, and then he's out.
like Jack Burton.
Like, totally. I loved it so much.
There's this one Nick Cage film that I watched, and his character was so strange. He was this apparently based on a real story about this guy that goes to Pakistan to hunt down and kill Osama bin Laden. Just a random guy.
Yeah,
The movie I think was directed by Larry Charles.
I remember hearing about that.
Larry Charles from like Seinfeld and
Larry David.
And Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's directed some Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So there's a Larry Charles and
he
a
directed
Larry
Borat.
David.
Larry Charles also directs Borat. Yeah.
Larry Charles David. It's one person with 3 first names.
If you see him, he looks like what's his name from the producer with the giant beard.
Rick Rubin.
He looks like Rick Rubin. Yeah, Larry Charles and Rick Rubin. You wouldn't really be able to tell who's who.
Larry Rubin.
Larry Rubin. Yeah.
It's just Larry David. Larry David pretending to be Rick Rubin.
Man, this movie was crazy. I think is this it right here? Army of One.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah. After a personal visit by God himself, the eccentric construction worker Gary Faulkner takes the decision to embark on an adventure in the Badlands of Pakistan to bring Al-Qaeda's leader Osama bin Laden. Yeah, you can only imagine.
I mean, that's how it actually went down. The CIA doesn't want you to know this. But,
oh, man.
Oh, that's what
Ridiculous.
I needed to write down. Dang it. So, what'd you think of this trailer for Renfield?
I think it looks pretty awesome. And it really does look like a step up in quality for Nicolas Cage as well, like compared to some of the other films that he's done in the last few years. This one looks like maybe a little higher budget. They have some bigger names with Nicholas Hoult and Awkwafina.
Yeah. I mean, it's a far cry from what's his name? Brendan Meyer.
Yeah. No hate to Brendan Meyer, though. He's a good actor.
I love Brendan Meyer. He's great. I just I liked, what was the Color Out of Space? Was that the name of it? The other one?
That sounds right.
Yeah. That one was interesting.
It wasn't the best.
It was not the best. It was an interesting
was there some
concept?
Is there some pig one with Nick Cage?
Yeah, it's called Pig. It's just called Pig. Yeah. It's like his prize like truffle hunting pig goes missing, and he goes on like a murder spree or something like that.
The pig does?
No, Nicolas Cage trying to get his pig back. Like
it's like a revenge tale.
This is where he's at in his career,
yeah.
and I'm fucking here for it. Like he's essentially looking for his John Wick franchise. You know what I mean? But maybe it's vampire John Wick franchise.
Vampire. Yeah, very well could be.
I love it so much. Nick Cage is doing the Lord's work when it comes to like making content. There's a lot of people that are like, he is this like caliber actor. Like he's been nominated for stuff in the past before.
He is.
I don't give a shit. Like, just keep making this
kind of stuff.
Yeah, because you got like 5 movies a year, that come out.
It seems like maybe even more.
I think he went through some financial troubles a handful of years back. So I mean, he probably has to do these to a degree. But
he's probably just doing it to buy Elvis memorabilia.
Yeah, he's trying to buy Graceland.
He's just hoarding Elvis memorabilia. That's all it is.
He was bummed that he wasn't in an EP on the Elvis movie.
Wasn't he married to
Lisa Marie?
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. They were married for a handful of years.
I almost feel like, I mean, who knows for sure, but he could have only married her just to say he was married to Elvis's daughter.
Right.
Seems like one of those situations.
Well,
what was the movie? I think he won an Oscar, right, for
Leaving Las Vegas? Yeah, I think so. I think he won. I don't remember.
That's a depressing one.
Yeah, I mean, he's capable of great stuff. What was I remember going to the theaters to watch.
There was the one that I liked was Matchstick Men. That one was good.
The one where is it Marissa Tomei's in it, and he's like a cop that wins the lotto.
I don't know. I'm not
It came
familiar with
out
that
in
one.
like the mid '90s, something like that. I can't remember.
Raising Arizona.
Oh, that's a great one. That's another great one. That's a classic. I feel like that is the basis for all of it. Like that movie is the basis for all the roles he should be taking now.
Yeah.
You know?
The off the wall.
Yeah. And there have been rumors for a while now, especially since they announced the fourth Avenger, or I guess it would be the sixth Avengers movie is Secret War. And that's where they do all kinds of variants on characters. And there's a big rumor, and I like, this is not one of those things that I like, am like, oh, that's just a weird, stupid rumor. For two big rumors of Marvel bringing back a variant of Ben Affleck's Daredevil for Secret War, and Nick Cage's oh my gosh, why am I forgetting all of a sudden? Johnny Blaze.
Oh, jeez.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
I forgot about Nick Cage and Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he was not the best. There has been other Ghost Riders since. They did a version on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when that show was on, and that was a pretty good version. They did it was a different take of the character. It was is his name Robbie Reyes? I think he's a Latino that drives like a muscle car instead of a motorcycle.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and they did it. He was from like L.A. and like there was some shit going on with that character. But yeah, he ends up becoming Ghost Rider. So I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. But I just throw Nicolas Cage in basically anything.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it.
And he will also act in basically anything, so there you go.
Yes, which is why I need to get my scripts finished.
Yeah, just make sure you put a role for Nick Cage in
Yes,
anything you do.
I didn't do any of my graphics today. Whatever. Let's go to a quick commercial break, and then I'm gonna have Pat pick out some stories to talk about from Deadline. You okay doing that?
Let's do it.
Are you comfortable reading?
I'm comfortable reading.
Okay. All right. We'll do that after a quick break.
I'm Richard from Richard's Pet Wedding Facilities, and I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too. This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure it's my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee.
All right, we're back,
Welcome back.
and you know what? I'm making Pat. I'm handing the reins of the show over to Pat, basically.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, so I'm having Pat pick out some articles for us to discuss off Deadline.
Yeah, here we go.
Deadline.com.
I mean, right up here at the top, we have Paul Mescal, sweet name,
Yeah,
to star in Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel. Number one, I didn't even know that Ridley Scott was planning a Gladiator sequel, so that's news to me.
there's been talk for a little bit. He's actually talked about it since the first one came out, but like it was always one of those things where like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Look at this dude could be Joaquin Phoenix's brother.
That actually is he's the nephew of Joaquin Phoenix.
Is he really?
Yes, I did look over this article.
Oh, wow.
A little earlier.
I was going to say, I mean, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I was not far off.
So go through some of it. You don't have to read the whole article because I think, especially towards scroll down a
Here we
little
go.
bit.
Yeah.
Let me see the whole article because I think some of it gets into just like stuff we don't really need to talk about. But yeah. Anyways, start wherever you want.
All right, so it says Mescal won't be replacing Crow's Maximus, whose character met his end in the original film. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
know that. But instead, he will be playing Lucius, the son of Lucia, Connie Nielsen, who now is a grown man as the story takes place years after the first film ended. Lucius also was the nephew of Commodus, Joaquin Phoenix's character. Whoops. Oh, Todd, I said something about Todd Phillips there.
Oh yeah, we don't care.
The son of Roman leader Marcus Aurelius, who murdered his father, who murdered his father seized the throne.
Yeah,
Commodus wound up in the gladiator ring with Maximus, who, though mortally wounded, skewered the emperor before fading into the great beyond to reunite with his slain wife and son. All right, so that's just a recap of the original Gladiator.
So go back up to the top. I think there's a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So Ridley Scott always said he would return to the Colosseum to continue the story of his blockbuster epic Gladiator, and it looks like we are getting close to having that wish granted. Sources tell Deadline that Normal People star Paul Mescal, Normal People?
Yeah, I've not watched it, but it's a thing.
Is in negotiations to lead the Paramount sequel to the Oscar-winning pick, with Scott returning to the directing chair. Scott also will produce, along with Scott Free president Michael Pruss, as well as Doug Wick and Lucy Fisher, via Red Wagon Entertainment. David Scarpa penned the script. David Scarpa, huh? Do we know David Scarpa?
I don't. I'm looking up Normal People.
Yeah, what's
now.
that about?
It's a mini series from, I think, BBC. Is that right?
No, it's got some high ratings.
Yeah. Let's see.
So original costume designer and production designer also returning. Sweet.
So Normal People follows Marianne and Connell, who what's his name? Mescal plays Connell, from different backgrounds, but the same small town in Ireland, as they weave in and out of each other's romantic lives.
Oh, you know where I've heard Normal People was somebody was talking about it, and they were doing the Irish accent.
They better have nailed it.
They weren't.
Was it me?
Was it? It might have been like somebody from Christian Harloff's network. Somebody was talking about Normal People. No, then they kept saying like Normal People.
Normal People. Was it Coy?
I don't know. It was somebody like that. Oh no, I think it was Andrew. What's his name from Bad Friends?
Andrew Santino.
Andrew Santino. He was the one who was talking about. Yeah, he kept doing the Irish accent.
I haven't watched Bad Friends in a little bit, but that's a fun podcast.
That is a good podcast. Bobby Lee is always a gem.
Bobby Lee is great. You know, I actually was. My mom was talking about they went to and saw some comedy show last night. I can't remember who they saw, but I was asking my mom, I was like, do you go to comedy shows very much? She's like, no, the last one I went to I hated. I was like, what'd you go see? She's like, I went and saw Carlos Mencia. And I was like, oh no. So I had to break down the whole Joe Rogan, Carlos Mencia thing. Yeah, Ned.
Yeah, I've never really seen much Carlos Mencia that I've enjoyed, but, you know, I'm sure he's competent.
When he writes his own jokes.
Oh, there's also a movie called Napoleon starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, there was a trailer for that, I think, that came out recently.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah.
That's a good casting, too.
That is a good
I do
casting.
I do like Joaquin Phoenix in
I
that
think
role.
he's maybe a little tall for the role.
He's a bit tall. You know, you could make him look short. There's always camera magic, trickery.
You could always just, like, cut his ankles off.
Yeah, I mean, he commits to his role, so I wouldn't,
He could always go the Cotton Hill route.
What's that?
Cotton Hill from King of the Hill.
Yeah,
is Hank Hill's dad. He was in the Korean War, and he's like, the Koreans took my shins.
He's so good with his squinty eyes.
He looks like Mike Pence.
Yeah.
I made a Photoshop during the Kamala Harris Mike Pence debate, and it was Cotton Hill at the podium, and he's like, just screaming about how they took his shins, and then Kamala Harris was the host of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah,
it's one of my better ones.
I used to watch Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, the game show.
Oh hell yeah, me too.
Yeah, after school. All right, well, so here we go.
You want to get into comments?
Let's look at some comments.
Let's see what these anonymous comments say.
This woman saying she watched Gladiator at least 10 times. Love, love, love it. Big fan of Russell Crowe. Been waiting another Gladiator for a long time. So when are we going to get a Braveheart sequel starring Bobby Cannavale and Adam DeMarco? This is what this person says.
Well, little do they know there is actually a Braveheart. It's not an official sequel, but it is.
Dude,
kind
a series would be sick.
Because the guy that played Robert the Bruce in Braveheart did another. They did a Robert the Bruce movie like a year or two ago. That was essentially a Braveheart sequel.
Here's a nice tidbit. Spider from Spider. He says, "So excited. Paul used to be in the same finger painting class as me in the Silver Lake area of Los Angeles. For those interested, we would forge natural canvases from the local environment and then blend fresh clay and mud and sand and dirt to make unique colors. It was a joy, and although he was quiet, he always spoke about his admiration for the original Gladiator and his hope to one day partake in a sequel. Well, Paul, you did it. Congrats, buddy. By the way, you owe me a piece."
And by piece, does he mean like a firearm or like a pipe, a bong?
That's great, though. That's so funny.
Actually, little known fact, I was in a sculpting class with Paul, and he used to sculpt the Roman Colosseum constantly, thinking like, wow, one day I wish I could be in the Roman Colosseum.
I wonder if
Well, Paul, you did it. You made it. You're going to be in the Roman Colosseum. Congratulations.
I wonder if it's just because he looks like Joaquin Phoenix. Like, that's why he got casted.
Well, I haven't seen, what was it, Normal People? But I mean,
I'm sure he's good. Don't get me wrong. No hate on this guy.
He is definitely...
He's got the right look.
He's got to be better than some of the acting we're getting out of the Willow series.
How about this movie right here, Megan?
Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I keep seeing some, like, short ads for it, but I don't really know much about it. It looks weird.
Yeah, I know people love horror and stuff, though, so this isn't... yeah, dude, she looks super creepy. She like one of those American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
But 26 million though, not bad.
So this is the weekend box office.
Yeah. So weekend box office.
Let's go over last week's, because we're officially starting this week's box office. But let's talk about last.
Sorry, no. This is, I believe they're talking about this weekend's box office. Yeah. So it says for an early January weekend falling after New Year's Day and before MLK, it's sure not sleepy. Some adult films may have a hard time working at the box office as movie-going comes out of the pandemic.
Well, yeah, Debbie Does Dallas is a family film.
It's hard to get viewers. Universal has a vibrant #2 winner in Blumhouse's creepy posh doll film Megan, which is looking at a $26.7 million opening after a $11.4 million Friday plus previews.
It's actually M3 GAN.
Yeah, M3 GAN. PG-13 horror movie has landed at 94% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
Not bad. And a 78% audience score.
I don't watch a lot of horror stuff in general, but there's like horror thriller.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things this year that have come out. Well, Megan might fit into this, but what are those Mia Goth movies? That's X? That's more like a psychological thriller. But then there was I don't know if she's in. No, she's not. The other one's Smile. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Smile.
That one had good marketing. I remember seeing with just everybody. Everybody had a bunch of creepy smiles.
Yeah, it's just all like the man who could. What is it called? What's that movie called? It's actually some of the designs for the Joker.
Did you hear about this one? Damar Hamlin. This dude.
I heard about it. I'm not a sports person though.
This was pretty wild to see. So this safety on the Bills, he just made like a routine tackle, but he got hit in the chest by the receiver that he took down. Like, kind of lowered his shoulder, like as they do. It's pretty standard. But I guess it like hit him in the heart at exactly the right moment that his heart's cycle was like resetting.
Oh shit!
So if that happens, you can go into this thing called I believe it's called like commodio cordis or something like that. But basically it stops your heart. Just straight up.
Crazy.
So he went into cardiac arrest. You see him. It's hard to watch the video, but he stands up and then he instantly falls down. And they had to like administer CPR and oxygen and stuff.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've been hearing about it.
But he luckily, I guess, is awake and everything now.
Yeah, I heard. I did hear that.
So that's great. I mean, I was glad to hear that, dude. You never want to see something like that.
I don't know if it was anecdotal or not, but I see things, but I don't like deep dive, especially the stories like that. Like I obviously don't want the dude to like die or anything like that. But I don't deep dive into some stuff. But I had heard that like his like first words when he like woke up yesterday or today or whatever was like, did we win?
Yeah, that makes sense. But no, they canceled the game.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty controversial decision because there were some playoff implications. But
Because it was a huge game, right?
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Bills and the Bengals,
And then I know
two of the top teams in the AFC.
regarding that, there was a tweet from some fucker that people, what's his
Skip
name?
Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
That dude sucks.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him other than that people say he
So,
sucks. So
I'm
I'm gonna
looking-
you know what? There's bandwagoners in sports. I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
I don't know Skip Bayless, but fuck you, Skip.
I'm sure you
Bayless.
wouldn't like him. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some of these articles here, seeing if there's anything else.
Well,
noteworthy.
we could still. You don't have to jump too fast through these stories. We can talk about them for a couple more minutes. Like Ridley Scott. You didn't know he was doing a.
I did not know Ridley Scott was doing another Gladiator movie.
You didn't know he was still alive? I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
dude.
totally
I mean,
kidding.
Raised by Wolves was sick.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of good stuff recently.
I loved Raised by Wolves.
There was a Ridley Scott movie too recently that was pretty big, right? I can't remember which one it was, but there was a Ridley Scott film that was
Oh, The Last Duel.
The Last Duel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still need to watch that one.
It was a good movie.
You said
but
there was a little miscasting.
There was
He did
there
House
was
of Gucci also.
two in my opinion miscasts. Matt Damon is a really good actor, and I do think he did the best that he could in that job. But I do think they maybe should have found someone else. But the biggest miscasting was Ben Affleck as he's like some French prince or something like that.
Yes.
And it was like he has an Eminem style haircut, like short blonde, like bang, looking.
Like a Caesar type.
It was hard to look at him. He doesn't play a whole lot of roles in the movie, but or he doesn't play a huge part in the movie. From what I remember, it's been a while.
Oh, dude, how about Jeremy Renner's accident?
Yeah, that's why you don't piss off snowplows.
Yeah, that
happened
was
in Reno.
Yeah, I saw the Reno area. Reno Truckee, somewhere around
It
there.
reminded me of our trip.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get run over by any snowplows,
Yeah.
but dude, I'm glad he made it.
Yes.
That was a brutal. It sounds like a brutal accident.
And it's not far off from how Anton Yelchin died.
That's true. Yeah,
That was
a tragic event.
That was a really tragic event.
I really liked him as an actor. He was just coming into his own too.
I did too. Yeah, they were still in discussion for. Actually, I don't think that third Star Trek movie had come out yet, but I think he'd filmed some stuff for it. But I was also watching. I was pretty into. What was it called? It's an animated series, Guillermo del Toro series on Netflix called Troll Hunter. And they did multiple seasons, and they even did a couple of spin-off series too. And he was doing the voice of the main kid in the show. And then once he died, they recast him with what's his name from Speed Racer and Into the Wild.
Oh yeah. What can I say
Yeah,
his
what
name?
is his name?
They're actually both in the movie Alpha Dog.
Yes,
they were
yes.
both in that movie together.
Forgive me. The name's.
It starts with an M, right?
Pull up Speed Racer IMDb.
Yeah, that movie. That's actually an underrated movie, but from the Wachowskis. That movie is crazy.
I have not watched it in a while.
Dude, that movie is kind of sick. I'm a fan of that movie.
Emil Hirsch. That's who
Yeah.
it is, yeah. Matthew Fox. I forgot he plays the brother.
From Lost.
Yeah, I forgot he plays the brother.
Yeah, but no, Speed Racer is underrated. That was a tough property to translate to film,
Yeah.
and I think that they did a pretty good job.
I don't remember
It's
the
bright.
movie itself, but I remember the style choices
Oh, yeah.
and being like, that's badass.
Yeah,
This actually does...
Dude, visually, this movie is amazing.
It does totally look like a live action, like anime.
Yes, it does. This is a movie we should revisit.
I'm down, actually. It's 2008.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Emil Hirsch is a good actor.
I haven't seen him in anything in some time
Yeah,
either.
yeah. Let's scroll down real quick. Let's see what he's been up to. I feel like he did something like kind of recently that I remember.
Oh, yeah, he's been in stuff.
Yeah. Troll Hunters. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
watching. Yeah.
X. Sorry, still just a little cold.
Well, you have a jacket on.
You're right. Wizards.
Here, I'll leave that right there. Yeah, The Wizards is a spin-off of the Troll Hunters series.
But yeah, it also looks like he's done some films recently. Oh yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what he did recently.
Yeah. I still haven't seen that, but I remember seeing him in some of the clips.
He's like a friend of Margot Robbie's character. What's her name? Sharon Tate. Yeah, they're friends. He's one of the. He was, I think, actually in history, I think he was one of the guys that was murdered by the Manson family.
Okay.
One of the people.
Yeah, and Austin Butler.
Austin Butler's one of the Manson family kids. Who did it? Who actually really did a great job as Elvis.
I think he was one of the standout parts of that movie.
I saw Margaret Qualley, and she was in a video game that Andrew recommends big time that you should play. Death Stranding. Have you heard of that game?
I've heard of it. I don't know much about it.
It looks really good. It's about a post-apocalyptic type situation, and you have to move materials across. Like, you're trying to set up this network across the United States. And it's from the same creator of Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
And what's his name is the main star from The Walking Dead, Daryl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah. From Boondock Saints. It's his most famous role. Actually, it was for a really long time until The Walking Dead.
I never liked that movie. People used to hype up that movie to me big time. And
the second one's the best.
I've never seen it.
No, the second one I'm pretty sure was like a straight to DVD.
Look at this cast right here for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You haven't seen this one, right?
No. It was one of those things where like I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, and then after it came out, I remember seeing it listed for like iTunes did something where it was like new release for like $5 or something like that, and I was like, oh, I should buy it, and then I was like, oh no, it's on HBO Max, I'll watch it, and then it was only on HBO Max for like a month.
Yeah, I don't
or something
know if it's
like
on
that.
any streaming service.
It's not. I've been looking.
This is a great movie. I've only seen it once.
And I might have to just bite the bullet and like buy it.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Yeah.
There are Quentin Tarantino movies that I think pretty much every Quentin Tarantino movie I've seen more than once, other than this one.
I think I've only seen Jackie Brown once.
Oh, we watched it over here.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw that one was over here.
I think I've only seen that one once. Kill Bill, both movies I've seen multiple times.
Pulp Fiction, you probably seen it a few times.
Yeah, a few times. Even True Romance, which is not a directed by him, but it was written by him.
That's a fantastic film.
I've seen that like once or twice. I've seen that probably twice, actually. Yeah, that's the best Brad Pitt role.
That is the best Brad Pitt role. One, and also Inglourious Bastards is so good, too.
I was going to say that one followed by his Burn After Reading character.
That's a great one also. Dude, he's done so many good movies.
Spoiler alert, best death scene in any movie.
Yes. But in Babylon, he was great also, his character.
Yeah, he was good in that one. He was, I feel like, one of the staples of that.
Yeah.
And
did you ever watch Bullet? Do you watch Bullet Train?
I haven't yet. No. I need to catch that one.
Anyway, what were we talking about here?
I don't know. You were going through Deadline.
Yeah, I did get a little sidetracked, but
it happens.
Speed Racer.
We got to Speed Racer because of Ridley Scott, I think,
and Emile Hirsch.
Yeah.
We were talking about what's his name? R.I.P.
Santa.
Dennis Quaid's sports drama, The Hill. All right.
What's going on there, Pat?
It looks like a production company has acquired North American rights to The Hill, an inspirational true life story drama starring Dennis Quaid, scripted by Angelo Pizzo and Scott Marshall Smith, and directed by Jeff Celentano. Quaid starred in one of the most successful fact-based sports films in recent history, I'm guessing it
Open up
says.
the story.
All right. In recent memory with The Rookie, and Pizzo wrote two of the best true sports films in Rudy and Hoosiers. Yeah, those are classics. Celentano helmed Gun Shy and Breaking Point. Quaid plays James Hill, a traveling pastor who becomes an overbearing influence on Ricky Hill, his Sandlot baseball phenom son. The pastor thinks he's protecting the boy because of health concerns, yada yada.
Wait, is this a sequel to The Sandlot?
Yes. But
There's like 3 sequels to The Sandlot.
Are there?
There's at least one.
like direct-to-video kind of
There's
movies.
at least one.
The Hill.
Starring Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
This is Ricky Rodriguez.
This is Ricky Rodriguez. So yeah, they're definitely connected.
Starring... oh, that's a different movie.
Liam Neeson and Diane Kruger.
No, not in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a different in a different production.
That's Taken 7.
Yes. Hey, those are some solid names right there, though. Anyway, there's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about Jeremy Renner too.
Again, that was a tough situation. I wish nothing but the best for him. You know,
Yeah.
let's like to see him recover and hopefully pop back up in movies again and everything.
I'm sure he'll be back.
It looks like he posted a new video, but it looks like it's basically just a video of him being bathed.
I'm sure all the nurses are like, yeah, let me give him a sponge bath.
Hawkeye.
Oh, dude, we got an Avenger in here, guys.
Yeah, he still looks pretty. He still looks pretty battered.
Yeah, he looks like he had it rough. But yeah, my understanding is that he was helping like a neighbor or family friend or something.
Yeah, plow some
snow, and their car had some issues or something, and so he got out to help, and then the snow plow
just
crushed his legs or something like that.
I think it was like a Christine situation.
Yeah, the snowplow was trying to kill him.
Yeah,
because it's possessed by a serial killer.
You have to be careful with snowplows.
The person that they were helping snowplow, I this might also not be completely factual. I think I remember hearing that they were like an EMT or something like that.
Yeah,
so
his neighbor was a doctor.
So
I
if
think
they hadn't been there, he might have bled out.
Yeah, apparently, like his doctor neighbor made a tourniquet.
Yeah.
Man,
great.
how crazy is that?
Insane.
Only in Reno.
I know. This is why you stay away from Reno. I have personal experience. The only good place in Reno is the Awful. And even that is, if you walk through the casino to get there, it's fine. But there is a back entrance through an alley. And pretty sure I almost got killed.
Oh, sick. I didn't know that there was going to be a Gran Turismo movie.
I did a story about that a couple months ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's a sneak peek here.
It's them just like practicing jumping cars and shit.
So it says Columbia Pictures unveiled a sneak look at its upcoming film Gran Turismo on Wednesday at the Sony Group Corporation's Consumer Electronics Show, CES, press conference in Las Vegas. Based on the PlayStation Studios video game. What is it? Just like dudes that are like buying and fixing up cars? Because that's what the video game is. I mean, you know, who knows?
Hey, pass me the rich.
But the film is the true story of British racing driver Jon Mardenborough, a teenage Gran Turismo gamer whose skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional. This dude was just training in Gran Turismo, and he ended up parlaying it into an actual racing career. That's amazing. The film stars David Harbour, Orlando Bloom, Archie. Want to help me with that one?
Madekwe,
Darren Barnett, Jerry Hollowell Horner. Isn't that Ginger Spice?
Yes,
she's in this.
Yeah,
nice.
Apparently,
and Jim and Hansu, who's always solid.
He's great. I love him.
Directed by Neil Blomkamp. Wow, from District 9, a bunch of other movies. Yeah, Elysium. with screenplay by Jason Hall and Zach Balin. The film is produced by Doug Belgrad.
That's John Hall.
It says Jason Hall, but we know the truth. Yeah. Sweet. You know, this sounds very cool, actually.
Yeah.
So this dude was just a gamer, and then he became a racer.
I've forgotten the details, but I did run this story a handful of months ago.
So cool.
Yeah, I did a video game episode. Actually, I'm going to probably do another video game episode. I'm still not decided about Mondays yet, about doing streams on Mondays.
Monday could be a video game day.
Monday could be a video game day.
Man, there are a lot of video games to talk about. I recently bought the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to, from my childhood, I have so many memories of, playing the Turtles arcade game.
Not into it?
No.
The Shredder's Revenge is better.
Revenge is awesome. Yeah, if you're going to get a Ninja Turtles game, make sure to get Shredder's Revenge. Because the Cowabunga collection, it's cool. And Turtles in Time, it still holds up. But the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, that one, I had so many fond memories. There are 6 levels. And also, it's insanely difficult. The game gives you infinite lives or whatever, but if it didn't, dude, that shit would cost $40 at least in quarters.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Those games were kind of designed to just take your parents' money.
Yeah, they didn't make 100-hour games for arcades. They just made games that were hard enough that you had to keep popping quarters into the machine.
I mean, it has the same. I think the Turtles game was released before the Simpsons arcade game, I want to say.
Okay,
but it has that same kind of feel to it. But also, that Simpsons arcade game was way difficult too.
I always liked the X-Men one, the 4-person arcade.
I think I preferred the Simpsons one even to the X-Men. But they're all awesome. They're all that same kind of style.
Yeah, I'll probably do a gaming episode on Monday because I've actually slammed a bunch of games recently.
Nice.
I finished the main storyline for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I didn't finish all the DLC stuff or whatever. I didn't even clear the whole map or anything like that. But I really liked it. Talk about that more on Monday. And I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I somehow got addicted to Assassin's Creed games.
There are some great music. There's some good music in those Assassin's Creed games.
And a really underrated movie. I can't say that with a straight face.
It did have Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. They just, if I remember correctly, it was a weird. It all took place in modern day mostly, and it's the best parts of the Assassin's Creed game are not the modern day.
When you go back and you do your assassinating.
Yeah, when you're running around through ancient Rome, or right now Valhalla is the Viking one, so I'm raiding northern England and shit like that. It's great.
Am I mistaken, or do I see some new figures over here?
No, I haven't gotten any new figures. Yeah, the man.
You really have to get that on stream.
It's one of those things where I kind of want to show people, but at the same time I'm kind of embarrassed to show people.
Just do an episode. Jon Does Toys.
Jon Does Black Series and Marvel Legends stuff. They had a couple. I did almost get one earlier when I was at Target. They had a different Ahsoka. I have an Ahsoka one. Actually, no, it is. I was gonna say it's not the Rosario Dawson, but it is. Yeah, but the other one that I had seen was a different.
Oh, cool! More of the cartoon style.
No, it was a Rosario Dawson design too, but it was just a different figure.
Nice. That show's gonna be. I'm looking forward to that show too.
Oh man, this year. You know what? Next week, let's do a what we're excited for. Or are you maybe able to come next week?
Sure, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out. But let's do an episode of what we're looking forward to in 2023 because there is a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff coming this year. All the Star Wars stuff. I'm really excited about. I did watch Bad Batch started. I don't really care about that show.
I personally haven't seen any of it.
Yeah.
I tried watching the first episode and just didn't really get into it.
All the live action Star Wars stuff I'm pumped about. Most of the Marvel stuff I'm pumped about. There's all kinds of other stuff coming this year. Cocaine Bear
Cocaine Bears in a couple months.
Dude, yeah.
And then Renfield, as we talked about.
Yeah,
earlier.
Renfield. But let's save that for next week. Let's put a list together
All right.
of stuff. I don't care if it's a
Maybe the
top
viewers
10
could
yeah, throw in some
stuff that you're excited about.
some suggestions.
Let us know.
Yeah, text me at my phone number or
Hit you up in the comments.
mail a letter to my house. It is my address is. I'm just kidding. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there was one other game that I actually like completely crushed in between those two, because the Assassin's Creed games, the first one I put 120 hours into, and I'm already at like 40 hours on this new one.
Sweet.
And I'm like maybe not even a third through. Like,
You have a lot that you can do in those
there's
games.
a ton of stuff to do in those games. But I did play a shorter game in between, and that was the Miles Morales Spider-Man. It took like.
What's the verdict on that one?
I really like that.
Is that a PS4 or 5?
No, but I did play the PS4 one briefly. I didn't finish that one. I really liked it. I think I got to a point where I'm like, I'm just swinging around the city just because I like swinging around the city because I'm Spider-Man, and they did a really good job.
But this
recreating New
this
York.
one was a PS5.
Yeah, this is a PS5. And story is great. I really like. They have this in the gaming world of Marvel stuff. There's 2 Spider-Mans running around out there. Some cool stuff going on. The story was really great. And yeah, the gameplay is fun. There was some slight upgrades too from how you play the other one, because Miles has slightly different powers. He has like electric blasts.
Are the mechanics kind of similar?
Yeah, they're very similar.
Nice.
There's a couple of things that are different, but like I was saying, Miles has like he has 2 things I think that Spider-Man doesn't. He has a natural like electric blast, I think, and then he also can go invisible.
Well, hey, that's a movie we'll talk about that next week. But that's a movie that I'm definitely looking across the Spider-Verse.
Oh man, yeah, we should talk about that next week, because that's coming out later this year.
Yeah,
but
can't wait.
Thanks for going over some news stories, Pat.
Sure, yeah, my pleasure.
Putting you on the
that
spot.
was a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my computer
I don't know if
back.
anybody else really enjoyed that, but you know what?
I did.
I did too.
I did.
That Gran Turismo movie sounds really cool.
You know why I liked that so much? It's because I didn't have to read.
There you go. I'm happy to do your reading.
Maybe we can learn to be a better. And this isn't like you or anything like that, but while you're going through stuff like that, I can be popping up graphics and sound effects and stuff like that.
We'll
Teamwork.
try to do some more teamwork in the future here.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes my pee work.
What? You need a team?
3 ways. Menage a trois.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to say or plug before we get going?
Yeah, check out my new
Check out Pat is actually. I was thinking about this.
check out my new cabaret show.
I have a
live.
new title for you.
What's that?
The mayor of CVS.
Nice. CBS.
CVS. No, that's me. I'm just kidding. No.
CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that we were talking about.
I run Showtime, just so you can see some boobs.
There you go.
Drop a little dong here and there.
I mean, yeah, Skinamax gets all the credit, but dude, Showtime had some bangers.
Showtime had some bangers. Dexter's there's some good stuff on Showtime actually.
There was something I watched. Oh, I was going to say there was something I watched on Showtime recently, but it was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
They had that streaming.
All right. Well, are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right, let's go hunt.
We're gonna go hunt some food.
We're gonna go kill a cow. We don't know where there's a cow around, but we'll
find one.
We'll drive around until we find one, slaughter it,
There are farms nearby.
cook up some steaks.
There you go.
What do I do here at the end? Oh yeah, don't forget, I forgot how my show works, and I put it together. Don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support the channel.
Best place.
Please buy some stuff. Buy some stuff. I'm begging you guys to buy some stuff.
The holiday
please.
season may be over, but
Capitalism is not.
That's never ending, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, check out the t-shirts, sweatshirts, tote bags, socks.
I think I actually have one of your tote bags.
Stickers. I have some tote bags too. I just don't want to pull them out right now. I do want to do another commercial sometime soon, so
There we go. Let's do it.
maybe we'll get you in there as one of my models. The other thing I like to do here at the end of the show is because we're a bunch of nerdy guys over here, big sweaty man pigs. And I know there's some other sweaty man pigs that watch this show, and I think this is the perfect audience to talk about Planned Parenthood and how there's a link in the description to donate to Planned Parenthood because they're a fantastic organization. Yeah, I think they're worth the support. So go buy some Wild Dinosaur merch and then go support Planned Parenthood wearing your Wild Dinosaur merch. That's how it works. Take a picture of yourself at Planned Parenthood wearing your Wild Dinosaur merch, and I'll send you. What should I send them? I have stickers, but that's a big.
You should have Wild Dinosaur branded condoms.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Just your art on the packaging.
I'll have my people look into that.
All right, please. Yeah. I'll be your first customer.
Yeah. So wilddinosaur.com, Planned Parenthood, and I'm gonna try to do Monday. I think I got kind of depressed this Monday, and so I was like, I don't want to do a show. I just want to play.
It was raining.
Yeah, it was raining, and I was like, I just want to play Assassin's Creed, and I don't know what to talk about today. Sorry, that's my depressed voice. I don't know what to talk about.
I've heard it before.
I actually don't know if I've heard that.
I don't know if the people want to hear that.
Yeah, and have a good weekend. I'll probably be back Monday talking about some video games, and Wednesday I'll be back with Ryan. We have another 90s nostalgia episode we're going to talk about with some great stuff. We have a new record we want to talk about. Not new, it's from the 90s, but it's not Bush and it's not Space Hog. And then maybe Pat will be back next Friday.
I'm definitely going to try.
And we'll talk about what we're excited for in 2023. So you guys have a good weekend, and I'll kiss your face later.